Still here,
still here,
after everything.
still here,
Still breathing,
still feeling,
still here,
still here.
still. I don't know when the wait arrived. Just woke up one day and there it was, sitting on my chest like something old, like something that had always been, because it was. I know that place, I've lived there too. That quiet ache that has no clock, that stays regardless of what you do or don't do or can't do.
I tried to name it, tried to fix it,
Tried to outrun it,
tried to leave it
but it just waited.
like it knew.
That somewhere past the trying, past the holding and the hiding, we'd come back to this.
We'd come back to
Still here,
still standing.
after all the quiet falling apart.
After all the nights that had no ending.
Still here, still breathing,
With this ache inside,
that never quite completes its leaving.
still cracked, still open,
Still carrying it all.
still here, still here.
Still here,
After everything,
still here. There was a morning I remember, standing in the kitchen, nothing on, just the sound of the refrigerator humming. And I thought, when did I get so far from home?
I've had that morning too, different kitchen, same feeling.
Like something in you quietly gave way, and nobody noticed, not even you.
Not even you.
But here we are,
Still waking up
still putting one thing
after another.
still finding something small enough to hold on to.
A cup of something more.
A light left on.
Still here,
Still here,
still standing.
after all the quiet falling apart.
After all the nights that had no ending.
Still here, still breathing,
With this ache inside,
that never quite completes its leaving.
still cracked, still open,
Still carrying it all.
still here.
Still here,
After everything,
still here. Do you ever think about the version of yourself that almost didn't make it through?
every single day,
How did you?
I just did.
Me too.
We just did.
And some days that's enough.
Some days that's everything.
Just still being here.
Just still being here.
Still here.
Still here.
After all of it,
The weight of
the
it,
shape of it,
beautiful, unbearable, ordinary miracle of still being here.
still here.
Still standing.
Not because it wasn't heavy.
Not because it didn't break us.
Still here. Still breathing.
Because we held it.
Because we let it.
Because we chose to keep on feeling.
Still cracked.
Still low. Still learning how to carry.
Still learning how to lay it down.
Still here.
Still here.
Still here. Still here.
Still here.
After everything,
After all of it.
still here.
It's not sharp enough to call it pain, not loud enough to give it a name. Just something sitting in the chest, a little heavier than the rest. It's there when the morning comes too quiet. It's there when the evening runs too long. Not asking for anything from me, just there the way it's always been, all along. I've learned to live around it, the way you learn to walk around a
piece of furniture that's always in the hall. You stop seeing it, but it's there. It's always there. The ache that lives just under everything. The ache that doesn't need a reason to begin. It doesn't break me, doesn't leave me, just reminds me now and then that I've loved things, that I've lost things, that I'm human, that I've felt the ache. I found an old receipt today from a place I used to go with you. Didn't mean to stop and feel it, but the body does what the body wants to do. The date was years ago, November. The order was the same as always then, and something in the ordinary of it opened something up and let it in. I didn't try to push it down, I didn't try to reason it away. Just sat there with the receipt in my hand and let the ache have it say, have it say. The ache that lives just under everything. The ache that doesn't need a reason to begin. It doesn't break me, doesn't leave me, just reminds me now and then that I've loved things, that I've lost things, that I'm human, that I felt the ache. I used to think that it would go away, that one day I'd wake up and it'd be gone. That healing meant the absence of the feeling, that the ache meant something still was wrong. But I don't think that anymore. I think the ache is just the mark of everything that mattered, everything that left a print upon the heart. The deeper that you loved it, the longer that it stays. The ache is just the shadow that the good things leave behind when they go. And I'd rather have the ache than have felt nothing at all. I'd rather have the ache than never have had anything worth missing, worth the fall, worth every single ache. Just the ache, still here, still mine, still home. There's a feeling I keep almost touching, like it's standing just behind me in the room. When I turn around, there's nothing, but the air still has the shape of something that was there. I'm sure it was there very recently. It's in the middle of a sentence, when the word I need just slips away. It's in the seconds after waking, when the dream is still so close and then it isn't, and I can't remember what it was I almost had to say. I know the feeling without knowing what it is. I know the distance, even though I can't measure it. It's close, I know it's close, the way you know that is standing in the dark before your eyes adjust, before you see them, but you feel them somewhere close, but not quite here. Somewhere close, like a sound I almost hear. Somewhere close to something I've been missing, without knowing what it is or how long I've been missing it. Somewhere close, just somewhere close, right at the edge of everything I feel. Somewhere close to something that is real. I've been retracing ordinary moments, looking for the thing I can't name. A street I walked down once that felt like something that I've walked 100 times since, and it never felt the same. Maybe it was the angle of the light, maybe it was who I was that day. Maybe some moments carry something extra, and then quietly they give it back away. And I keep returning to the places that felt close, the bench, the corner, the window of the cafe, where I almost understood it, where it almost made itself known, where it was so close. I could have sworn I had it for a second, had it, then it was gone. Somewhere close, but not quite here. Somewhere close, like a sound I almost hear. Somewhere close to something I've been missing, without knowing what it is or how long I've been missing it. Somewhere close, just somewhere close, right at the edge of everything I feel. Somewhere close to something that is real. Maybe close is all it ever is. Maybe that's the nature of the thing. The feeling lives in almost, in the reaching, not the finding, in the space before the answer that the question tries to bring. And maybe I've been thinking about it wrong. Maybe somewhere close, it's not a failure to arrive. Maybe somewhere close is how it feels to be the kind of person who is still awake enough to notice, still alive enough to try. Still standing at the edge of something beautiful and unnamed, still feeling it approach, still reaching out a hand, still hoping that today might be the day it finally closes the distance, finally steps into the light, finally lets me see it clearly, finally lets me understand what it has been all this time. This feeling, somewhere close, somewhere that close, that close, somewhere close, somewhere that close, that close, somewhere close, and getting closer, somewhere close, like a sound becoming clearer, somewhere close to something I've been circling for longer than I knew. I've been circling somewhere close, just somewhere close, right at the edge of understanding. Somewhere close to knowing that the searching was the thing. All along, the searching was the thing. Somewhere close. Close. Woke up, made the bed, did all the things, answered every text, wore all the right rings, said yes to the plans, showed up on time, laughed at all the jokes, said everything's fine, and it was mostly 80, maybe 90% of the way, the other 10 just quietly followed me around all day. Not heavy enough to mention, not light enough to shake. Just that almost, that almost, that almost you can't quite explain.
Yeah, I know that almost. Wore it myself last week when everyone kept asking,
And I kept saying fine,
and meaning
almost, almost, almost fine. I didn't lie exactly when I said that I was okay. There's just a version of okay that doesn't quite fill all the space. Like a room that's mostly furnished, but one corner's always bare. You learn to seat the guests with their backs to it and hope that no one sits and stares.
I know the room, I've rearranged it, tried to fill it different ways. Put something there, then moved it back again, and left it for the better part of days.
Not broken,
Not exactly,
not fine,
not all the way.
somewhere in the almost
Somewhere in the almost
of a perfectly acceptable, ordinary, almost okay kind of day. Almost fine, almost fine,
close enough to fool most people,
almost fine, far enough to know the difference. Almost fine,
that particular shade of okay that lives just one layer under everything you say.
almost fine,
Almost fine.
not falling, not flying, just almost, almost fine.
I sat in the car for 20 minutes after getting home the other night. Not because something had happened, just because I needed one more minute out of sight.
I've done that too. The car becomes a room between the world and whatever face you need to put back on before you walk inside and take your place.
The 20 minutes is its own kind of honest.
The only place you let the almost show.
Nobody sees it in the car, in the dark, in the almost that only you will ever know.
And you smile,
And you mean it,
mostly
mean it,
and you laugh
and it's real
enough.
enough.
But something sitting quiet, waiting patient for the moment when the almost gets to finally just be what it is.
What it is,
What it is,
what it is,
what it is. Almost fine, almost fine,
close enough to fool most people.
almost fine, far enough to know the difference. Almost fine,
That particular shade of okay that lives just one layer under everything you say.
almost fine,
Almost fine.
not falling, not flying, just almost, almost fine. Can I tell you something?
Yeah,
I'm not always as okay as I look,
I know.
you know?
I know because I'm not either.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're doing really well at almost,
at the 90%,
at the showing up
at the making it look easy.
when it isn't always easy.
And that counts, that has to count.
The almost count,
The almost count.
for something, for everything, for proof that we are trying.
We are trying.
We are trying.
Every single almost.
Every almost fine.
Every 90% day.
Every car park.
20 minutes every corner of the room.
We can't quite fill. Counts it all.
Counts,
It all.
means something.
It all.
Means we're still here.
Still almost. Still trying.
Still
Almost fine.
almost fine.
Maybe that's exactly where we are.
And maybe almost fine is getting there.
Fine. Not a failure
Not a falling short, just the most honest thing we've got.
to offer.
Almost fine,
And that's okay.
and that's okay.
To be the almost.
To be the not quite.
To be the one layer under what you show. Almost fine.
Almost fine.
And closer than we think.
To something
That feels a little more than almost. A little more than fine. Almost
there.
almost there, almost there.
I've been a little tender lately. Can't quite say exactly when it started. Something in me closer to the surface than I'm used to. and I'm used to letting show. The smallest things get through the armor. A stranger's kindness in a coffee line. A child asleep against a window on the subway, and I have to look away and breathe and remind myself I'm fine. It's not that I am broken, it's that something healed imperfectly left that spot a little raw, a little reachable, a little closer to the place where I keep everything I thought I'd put away for good, for good. Tender, like a place that's still recovering. Tender, like a word said too sincerely in a room that wasn't ready. Tender, not in pain, just sensitive to light, to kindness, to the weight of ordinary things that somehow feel like everything tonight. Tender, just tender, like I finally let myself be touched by all of it at once. I read a letter that I'd written to myself at 23, so certain, so afraid, so full of everything I couldn't say to anyone but me. And I sat there in the kitchen with this person that I used to be, and I wanted to reach back through the paper, tell her it gets different, not always easier but different. Tell her she was doing more than fine, more than fine. And something in the reading cracked me open just enough to let a little of the old light through, the kind you had before the world required you to be so careful with the tender parts of you, with all the tender parts of you. Tender, like a place that's still recovering. Tender, like a word said too sincerely in a room that wasn't ready. Tender, not in pain, just sensitive to light, to kindness, to the weight of ordinary things that somehow feel like everything tonight. Tender, just tender, like something in me finally stopped protecting itself from being moved. I think being tender is a kind of courage that nobody talks about. The willingness to stay permeable, to let the world come all the way in, without the armor, without the distance, without the careful management of what gets through and what you turn away. Because it's easier to harden, God knows it's easier to seal the edges, build the surface thicker every year, to say I'm fine and mean it in a sense that means nothing gets in. Nothing gets in here, but nothing getting in means nothing getting through. And I would rather be this tender, raw, and reachable and true than be the version of myself that stood so far back from the world that nothing moved me, nothing reached me, nothing never felt like this. Like a stranger's smile, like a letter from the past, like a child asleep against the glass, like the weight of being here and feeling all of it and not looking away. This is what it means to be alive. This tenderness, this beautiful, unbearable tenderness. Tender, like a place that chose to keep recovering. Tender, like a word I finally mean sincerely in a room that I made ready. Tender, not in pain, just tender, still tender here.
I didn't break, nothing dramatic happened. No single moment I could point to later, just a slow and quiet coming undone, like a sweater pulling at the thread until the whole thing comes apart at once. It started with the dishes in the sink, then the unanswered messages, then the blinds I stopped adjusting, then the days that started blurring at the edges into one. It's not a crisis, no one would call it that. It's something softer, something harder to explain, like the ground just lowered itself an inch and no one noticed and nothing looks the same. Soft collapse, not the kind that makes a sound. Soft collapse, more like slowly sitting down on the floor of something you thought you had together. Soft collapse, no one sees it happen, no one knows the weather changed inside you, quietly, completely. Soft collapse, just a soft collapse. I smiled at everyone who asked me, said the word fine so many times. It started feeling like a coat I wore so long I forgot it wasn't mine. I made the bed, I kept the appointments, I showed up every place I said I would, and somewhere in the showing up and keeping on, I lost the thread of what any of it meant, or if it could. Not falling, not exactly, more like kneeling very slowly toward the ground. Not crying, not exactly, more like something in me finally coming down, finally coming all the way down. Soft collapse, not the kind that makes a sound. Soft collapse, more like slowly sitting down on the floor of something you thought you had together. Just the weight of holding everything so carefully for so long. Soft collapse, just a soft collapse. There's a kind of tired that sleep doesn't touch. There's a kind of empty that doesn't ask for much. Just a moment on the floor, just a wall to lean against, just permission to not be okay without it meaning anything is wrong. Because sometimes the collapse is just the body saying, I've been carrying this longer than you knew. Sometimes the soft falling is the kindest thing you can let yourself come through. So I sat there on the floor, and I didn't try to fix it, didn't try to name it, didn't try to make it mean something more. Without asking anything in return. Soft collapse, not the
woke up fine, I swear I was fine. Made my coffee, checked the time, everything was fine. Opened up the window, let the morning in. Wasn't thinking about anything. Wasn't thinking about him, wasn't thinking about her, wasn't thinking about then. Just existing in the Tuesday, just existing, and then a song came on 3 seconds in, and before I know it, before I even know it, I'm somewhere I didn't plan to be again. Chest is heavy, eyes are burning, don't even know what for. Just standing in my kitchen, feeling everything at once, like I felt 100 times before, and still don't have a name for. The song wasn't even one I love that much, just something in the chord, something in the way it touched the part of me that's always slightly open, the part I keep forgetting to protect. And suddenly the morning had a texture that I didn't ask for, didn't expect. Heavy in the best and worst of ways, the kind that pins you gently to the moment, makes you stay. And I don't try to stop it anymore, I've learned that much at least. You can't outrun a feeling, you just have to let it move through you like weather. Let it do its thing and wait for it to pass, or wait for it to leave. Before I know it, I'm feeling everything at once. Before I know it, something ordinary hits me like it always does. Before I know it, I'm somewhere soft and undone. Before I know it, the feeling's already won, and I'm just here, letting it happen. Before I know it, before I know it. I passed a bench where someone left a book, face down like they meant to come back soon. And something in that small abandoned thing caught me in a way I couldn't quite immune. Like all the things we mean to come back to, the conversations left mid-sentence on the floor, the feelings we set down for just a moment that we never quite pick back up anymore. And I've stopped asking why it hits me when it does, stopped needing it to make a certain kind of sense, because the heart doesn't run on logic or on timing, it just runs on something far less organized than that, far less organized than that. Before I know it, I'm feeling everything at once. Before I know it, something ordinary hits me like it always does. Before I know it, I'm somewhere soft and undone. Before I know it, the feeling's already won, and I'm just here, letting it happen. Before I know it, before I know it. You know what's strange is that I used to fight it, used to see it coming and brace for it, tighten everything up, lock the windows, bar the door, like I could keep the feeling from getting through the floor. But feelings don't come through the door, they come through the song, they come through the bench with the booklet face down, they come through the light at a certain degree, they come through the nothing that somehow surrounds. And I'm standing here again in the middle of a Tuesday, in the middle of a life that is mostly fine, feeling something without edges, without reason, without warning, without anything but time. And I think that's what it means to still be open, to still be the kind of person that a 3-second chord can reach inside of and remind that you're still here, still feeling, still the kind of person who gets caught before they know it, before they even know it. Before I know it, I'm feeling everything at once. Before I know it, something ordinary hits me like it always does. Before I know, I'm somewhere I didn't plan to be, and somehow that's exactly
instead. Nothing gave it away. Just the afternoon light shifting slightly at the end of the day. A cup going cold, a song I barely heard, and something came loose without a single word. It didn't knock, it didn't call my name. It just slipped in through the silence, the way the feelings do when they've been waiting long enough to stop asking permission. Quietly, it came in quietly. No warning, no reason. Just filled me up completely. Quietly, the way the rain begins before you notice you've been standing in it. Quietly, just quietly, like it always knew. It didn't have to be loud to be true. I saw two strangers share an umbrella. Neither one of them spoke, just walked together under the same gray sky, like it was understood. And I stopped right where I was, on the street I walk every day. Felt something old and unfinished finally find its way. It didn't ask me if I was ready for it, didn't check if I had room. It just arrived the way the truth arrives when you stopped trying so hard to keep it out of the room. Quietly, it came in quietly. No warning, no reason. Just filled me up completely. Quietly, the way the rain begins before you notice you've been standing in it. Quietly, just quietly, like it always knew. It didn't have to be loud to be true. I've spent so long being careful, keeping everything at arm's length, deciding what was worth the feeling, measuring out my own strength. But you can't screen the quiet ones. They don't come through the front, they come in through the ordinary, the unremarkable, the blunt. Through a cup of cold coffee, through a stranger's tired face, through a song you half remember from a half-forgotten place, through the light on the water, through the pause between the words, through the feeling that arrives before it's even heard, before it's even heard. Quietly, it came in quietly. No warning, no reason. Just filled me up completely. Quietly, the way the rain becomes the thing you're soaking in before you thought to run. Quietly, just quietly, like it always knew. It didn't have to be loud to be true. There it is. I know it by the way it enters, not through the front, but through the side. Through a song I wasn't ready for, through a light that hit a certain way, through something ordinary I couldn't hide.
I felt it too, this morning in the kitchen, standing still with nowhere left to be, like something from a long time ago came back around to check on me.
I've been here before,
I know this place,
that feeling in the chest,
that familiar ache, like an old friend you forgot you had, who shows up at your door without calling ahead. And somehow you're not even mad.
this feeling again,
Like something I buried came back up to breathe.
like something I carry,
Finally started to leave.
this feeling again,
Not asking permission, not giving a reason, just
arriving like it always does. This feeling again, not sadness, not joy, just that somewhere in between,
that only comes around when something real
has passed through where I've been. This feeling again.
I saw a photograph I didn't mean to find, two people laughing at some forgotten thing, and I couldn't tell you why it moved me the way it did, the way it always does, the way it keeps on doing.
I know that photo, not the same one, but the feeling that it leaves behind, that weight of something good and gone, that sits so gentle on the chest, you almost don't mind.
It comes in waves,
It always has,
and every time I think I know it,
it shifts a little,
shows me something new
about the thing I thought I'd been through.
And every time it leaves, I think it's gone for good.
But here it is,
But here it is,
right on time,
like it always said it would.
this feeling again, like something I buried came back up to breathe, like something I carried finally started to leave. This feeling again,
Not asking permission, not giving a reason,
just arriving like it always does. This feeling again, not sadness, not joy, just that somewhere in between,
that only comes around when something real
has passed through where I've been. This feeling,
This feeling,
this feeling,
this feeling,
this feeling,
this feeling.
again.
Do you think it ever stops coming back?
I used to hope it wouldn't now.
Now I think I miss it.
Yeah, like missing an ache you've had so long, it starts to feel like yours.
Like proof that something happened,
Like proof that
something mattered,
like proof that we were here and we were open
and we felt it
and we felt it
all the way through.
every time it comes, we let it come.
Every time it stays,
We let it stay,
every time it leaves, we watch it go.
and we know
It'll come back around,
it always does.
it always will.
And we'll be here, we'll always be here, ready to feel it
Again, again,
again, again.
not something I buried,
Came back to breathe.
not something I carried.
It was meant to be felt.
This feeling again,
We're not running from it, we're not naming it, just letting it do what it always does.
not sadness, not joy, just the proof
Just the proof that something real has passed through where we've been. This feeling
again,
again,
this feeling.
this feeling again. I didn't see it coming at all. Just a song on the radio, nothing more. And something moved beneath my chest, like a tide I couldn't hold against the shore.
I know that feeling, don't explain, the quiet thing that has no name. When everything is fine and still, something aches you can't quite place or fill.
It's not sadness, not exactly,
More like something gentle breaking,
like a breath you've been holding,
since longer than you can remember.
and it rises and it rises, and you almost let it go. Almost cry, don't know why.
Something beautiful just passed me by.
Something I didn't even know I missed. Almost cry, almost break,
For no reason and for every reason's sake.
not falling apart, just feeling it all.
Almost cry.
Almost cry, but not quite. Not yet.
The light came through the curtain today, in that way it does in early May. And I just stood there in the kitchen, couldn't move, couldn't look away.
A child was laughing down the street, a sound so small, so bittersweet. And I thought of nothing specific, but felt everything all at once complete.
It's not broken, nothing's wrong.
Then why does it feel like the end of a song?
The kind that fades out slow,
The kind you never wanna let go. And it rises, and it rises, and you almost let it go. Almost cry, don't know why.
something beautiful just passed me by.
Something I didn't even know I missed. Almost cry, almost break,
For no reason and for every reason's sake.
not falling apart, just feeling it all.
Almost cry,
Almost cry,
but not quite. Not yet.
do you ever feel it too? That thing that has no shape, no proof.
All the time,
All the time,
like something's trying to come through. Like
something's been waiting to.
we don't have to name it, we don't have to know. We just have to let it move through us and go.
And it rises like it always does.
So quietly, so quietly.
And we almost let it all the way through. Now I know why.
Every beautiful thing that ever passed me by
Was always worth the feeling, even still. Almost cry, almost break,
for every ordinary moment's sake.
for every quiet thing that moved me without warning.
Not falling apart,
Just
finally
feeling it all. Almost cry,
almost cry,
almost let it go. I was in the middle of a sentence, nothing heavy, nothing that would leave a mark. Just a regular Tuesday in November. Nothing in the forecast, nothing in the dark. Then a song came through the speakers of a store I wasn't even really in. And before I could decide what I was doing, something opened up somewhere and let it all come in. No time to brace for it, no time to find the door, no time to be the version of myself that doesn't feel things anymore. It just arrived the way the weather does, without a word, without a warning, without warning, right in the middle of an ordinary day. Without warning, something moved through me and wouldn't look away. Without warning, no countdown, no signal, no time to prepare. One moment I was fine, and then the feeling just was there. Without warning, just there, just completely there. I've gotten good at seeing it approaching. Usually there's something in the air, a certain slant of light a half-remembered fragment that tells me I should probably prepare. But this one came from nowhere I could name, no trigger I could trace back to a source. Just an ordinary moment, quietly derailed from its ordinary course. And I stood there in the aisle of whatever store it was, and I let it do whatever it had come to do, because I've learned by now you can't negotiate with something that arrives without warning, without asking you, without warning, right in the middle of an ordinary day. Without warning, something moved through me and wouldn't look away. Without warning, no countdown, no signal, no time to prepare. One moment I was fine, and then the feeling just was there. Without warning, just there, just completely, unbearably there. I think the feelings that come without warning are the truest ones, the ones that don't wait for you to be ready, don't wait for the right moment or the right place, or the version of you that has it together, that can take it with composure and appropriate grace. They come for the real one, the one in the grocery store, the one without the armor, the one who forgot to put the careful face on before walking out the door. And maybe that's the gift of it, as much as it undoes you. Maybe being caught off guard is just the universe deciding that today you're ready, whether you think so or not, whether you planned for it or not, whether you wanted it or not. Today, the real thing found you in the middle of the cereal aisle, in the middle of a Tuesday, in the middle of a life you thought you had mostly figured out. And it said, here, feel this now. No warning, no apology, no asking, just feel this. And so you did, and so you stood there, and you felt it all the way through, without a warning, without a word, without a reason, without anything but the truest version of yourself, standing in a store, feeling everything at once. Without warning, right in the middle of an ordinary day. Without warning, something moved through me and I let it stay. Without warning, no countdown, no signal, no time to hide. One moment I was fine, and then the feeling came inside. Without warning, and I didn't stop it, didn't look away, just let it find me right where I was on an ordinary Tuesday. Without warning, found.
I was doing nothing much at all, just sitting by the window watching rain, when something moved inside my chest that I couldn't quite explain. Not a memory, not a fear, not anything I'd felt before, just a quiet kind of weight, like a knock on a familiar door. I've tried to find the word for it, looked for it in everything I know, but language stops right at the edge of wherever this thing goes. Something I can't name moves through me like a season changing. Something I can't name. stays longer than it should. Doesn't hurt, doesn't heal, just sits beside me like it's waiting for me to stop pretending that I don't feel what I feel. Something I can't name. Something I can't name. I passed a park I used to know. The bench is empty, light already low. A couple walk their dog in silence, the comfortable kind you earn and grow. I sat down on the curb a moment, watched the pigeons like they had the answer, and felt it rise again inside me. That wordless, weightless, nameless something. Maybe I've been too afraid to let a feeling just be what it is, without a reason or a label, without asking whose it is. Maybe some things live outside of everything I know how to say. Something I can't name moves through me like a season changing. Something I can't name stays longer than it should. Doesn't hurt, doesn't heal, just sits beside me like it's waiting for me to stop pretending that I don't feel what I feel. Something I can't name. I used to think that if I couldn't say it, then maybe it wasn't really there. The feelings needed to be spoken before they counted anywhere. But tonight I let it sit beside me. Didn't try to make it leave, didn't try to understand it. Just let myself believe that some things are too full for words, too wide for any chest to hold, too soft to survive the name, and too real to ever be controlled. And I breathed it in and I breathed it out, and for once I didn't need to know what it was about. I just felt it all the way through, all the way, all the way. Something I can't name moves through me like a season changing. Something I can't name, and maybe that's enough. Doesn't hurt, doesn't heal, just reminds me I'm still capable of feeling more than I've been letting myself feel in so long. Something I can't name. Something I can't name. Something, just something real. Halfway gone, not all the way, still standing in the doorway of a feeling I can't name. Halfway gone, halfway here, close enough to feel it, too far gone to care. Halfway, just halfway. I packed a bag I never took downstairs, left the lights on in a room I didn't use. Been living in the middle of a sentence that I started but forgot how to conclude. The coffee's on the door is open slightly, 1 foot in and 1 foot somewhere else. I keep meaning to decide about it, but deciding feels like something someone else would do. It's not leaving, it's not staying, it's the space between the two, where everything is almost, where nothing follows through, where I've been living longer than I knew. Halfway gone from everything that held me, halfway back from somewhere I can't find, halfway through a feeling that won't finish, halfway out of my own mind, not ask for any directions, not found enough to know where I belong. Just somewhere in the middle of it all, halfway gone, halfway gone. I called a friend and let it ring too long, and put the phone down when they picked it up. Sat in the car outside the place we used to go to. Didn't go inside, just sat there in the truck. I watched the people moving through the window, all of them so certain where they were. And I tried to remember what that felt like, to be somewhere fully, to not blur. Maybe I've been choosing this, the in-between, the not quite, the almost. Because if I never fully leave, then I never have to say goodbye. And if I never fully stay, then nothing gets the chance to change or end or die. Halfway gone from everything that held me, halfway back from somewhere I can't find, halfway through a feeling that won't finish, halfway out of my own mind. Not lost enough to ask for any directions, not found enough to know where I belong. Just somewhere in the middle of it all, halfway gone, halfway gone. I think I've been afraid of what comes after halfway, the part where you commit to whichever side you're on, the part where you stop standing in the middle of the doorway and step through or step back, and the halfway's finally gone. But the halfway has a cost too, that I've been too numb to count. All the living that I'm missing in the space between the doubt. All the mornings I was present but not quite, all the people I was with but not all the way. All the versions of myself I left standing in the doorway of every single, almost every single halfway. And I don't wanna live there anymore, I don't wanna be the person who can't find the door. I wanna feel it all the way through, all the way gone, or all the way back to something true. All the way, all the way, all the way. Halfway gone from everything that held me, halfway back, it's finally turned to moving. Halfway done with living in between, not lost enough to stay here in the middle, not afraid enough to keep from being found. Just someone finally stepping off the halfway, putting both feet on the ground. No longer halfway gone, just gone from halfway home. Gone. The quiet kind, we don't say it out loud. The quiet kind, we carry it around. Not the kind that breaks the surface, not the kind that makes a sound. Just the quiet kind, the quiet kind. You wouldn't know it, looking from the outside, everything arranged and in its place. The kind of person people call together, who wears composure like a second face. But in the car, between the destination and wherever it was I'd just been, that's where it lives, that's where it surfaces, that space between the seen and the unseen. Not the kind that cries in front of people, not the kind that asks for what it needs, more the kind that waits until it's quiet, more the kind that falls apart in degrees so small nobody sees. The quiet kind of hurting that doesn't show its face, the quiet kind of longing for some undefinable place, the quiet kind of love that never learned to speak above a whisper.
and showing none of that. I've gotten good at being the one who's fine, the one who listens, holds the space for everyone else's falling apart, while mine waits patiently in some back room of me, behind the part I show, behind the easy laugh, behind the I'm okay, behind the nod, behind the you go first. I've got it, go ahead, I'll follow, I'll be fine, I'm always fine. But sometimes late at night, when no one's asking, something moves through me I can't quite place, not grief, not longing, something without edges, something that just needs a moment and a space to be the quiet kind of hurting that doesn't show its face, the quiet kind of longing for some undefinable place, the quiet kind of love that never learned to speak above whisper, the quiet kind of breaking that leaves everything intact, the quiet kind, just the quiet kind of feeling everything and showing none of that. If you are the quiet kind, I want you to know that I see it, the way you hold what you hold, the way you carry what you carry without letting on how heavy, the way you show up anyway every time, even when you're running on the very last of what you have. The quiet kind isn't weak, the quiet kind is just the kind that loves the world so much it doesn't want to add to it, doesn't want to be one more heavy thing for someone else to carry. But you're allowed to put it down sometimes. You're allowed to be the quiet kind who speaks just once, who breaks just quietly enough for someone else to hear. You're allowed to let the quiet kind of hurting be loud enough for one person to know, just one, just once, just enough to not be alone in it anymore. The quiet kind of hurting doesn't have to hide its face, the quiet kind of longing has every right to take up space, the quiet kind of love deserves to speak above a whisper, the quiet kind of breaking deserves a hand to hold it back intact, the quiet kind, just the quiet kind of feeling everything. You don't have to show all of that, but you can, you can, you can. I had it all tied up so neatly, every feeling in its place, a life that looked composed from any angle, a practiced and presentable face. I knew which things to keep inside and which ones I could let out. I had a system, it was working, right up until it wasn't, right up until the doubt. It wasn't one thing, that's the part that gets me. It was everything at once and nothing all at once, like a knot you pull too carefully, and suddenly the whole thing comes undone. Undone, not broken, just undone, like a letter that was sealed and someone held it to the sun. Undone, the edges coming loose of every careful thing I thought I tied so tight there was no use. Undone, not falling, just unfolding, like I finally stopped holding everything together long enough to come undone. It was a Tuesday, nothing special. Groceries on the counter, coat still on, and I stood there in the hallway for what must have been too long, because the dog came over, sat beside me, didn't ask me anything at all. Just leaned his weight against my leg, and that was it. That was all it took. That was the thread that pulled the wall. Not the hard things, not the ones I braced for, not the conversations or the sleepless nights, but a dog and a hallway and the quiet after holding on with everything I had, with everything I had, with all my might. Undone, not broken, just undone. Like a letter that was sealed and someone held it to the sun. Undone, the edges coming loose of every careful thing I thought I tied so tight there was no use. Undone, not falling, just unfolding, like I finally stopped holding everything together long enough to come undone. I think the body keeps a record of the things the mind refuses to acknowledge. I think the body waits until the coast is clear enough to bring it forward, and it chooses the most ordinary moments. A dog, a hallway, a coat still on, a grocery bag that isn't heavy but suddenly weighs a ton. Because the body knows that this is safe enough. This kitchen, this quiet, this particular Tuesday afternoon, this moment with no audience, no performance to maintain, no one watching, no one waiting for the version of you that has it all contained. So it lets go and you let it let go, and you stand there coming all the way undone. And it doesn't feel like weakness, and it doesn't feel like losing. It feels like finally, finally breathing. Finally, for the first time in so long, just breathing. Undone, not broken, just undone. Like a letter finally opened and read beneath the sun. Undone, the edges are released of every careful thing I held so long. I'd forgotten there was me beneath it. Undone, not falling, just arriving at the ground of something honest, something I'd been quietly surviving. Undone, undone, finally undone, undone. And the ground was there, and I was there, and I was still me, still here, still undone. And okay, just okay. Someone asked me how I was today. I opened my mouth and nothing came. Not because I didn't have an answer, but because the answer didn't have a name. It wasn't bad, it wasn't heavy, it wasn't anything I could point to and say, there, that's the thing, that's what it is. It was just something in between.
I know that pause, I've lived inside it. That moment where you reach for the right word and come back empty-handed, but not empty. Never quite empty.
Not sad, not exactly, not fine,
not that either.
Something in the middle of a feeling that the language hasn't caught up to yet. Something real, something present, something sitting in the chest that hasn't told us what it is. Not sad, just somewhere I can't quite describe. Not sad, just
feeling more than I can fit inside.
not sad, just full of something without edges, without end. Not sad, just something
I don't have the word for, but I feel it.
and it's real. Not sad, just this.
I drove home the long way yesterday, not going anywhere, just moving through the light, the kind that hits the buildings late in autumn, that makes everything look quietly right. And I felt it pressing soft against my sternum, like a word on the tip of a tongue. Not quite sorrow, not quite gratitude, something older, something younger, something both at once.
I felt that light, I know that drive when the city looks so beautiful it almost breaks you. But you're fine, you're just not sad, just something softer than that. And you don't cry,
But you almost do,
and you don't smile,
but you almost do.
you just sit inside the feeling, let it do
Whatever it came to do, and
it's okay
it's okay to not know what it is, as long as you don't look away.
Don't look away. Not sad, just
Somewhere I can't quite describe,
not sad, just
feeling more than I can fit inside.
not sad, just
Full of something without edges, without end.
not sad, just something
I don't have the word for, but I feel it.
and it's real. Not sad, just this. What do you call it when you're standing in a room and everything is fine and nothing is the matter, but something in you quietly won't stop?
I call it being human,
I call it being here,
I call it having loved things that have changed or disappeared.
I call it being the kind of person who still feels the weight of ordinary beautiful things.
The light through the window,
The end of a song,
the way a season changes,
when you weren't paying attention, and suddenly it's gone.
not sad,
Just awake,
not broken,
just open,
not anything that needs a name or a reason or an explanation. Just two people in the middle of a feeling that is bigger than the words we have for it. And that's enough, that is